Got vision and destiny. Add elemental, that's chemistry. All those heroes, that's infinity. It's endgame.
Yugi peoples, welcome to my first place deck profile for what I like to call full combo heroes. And during the deck profile, I'll tell y'all why I like to call it full combo. So yeah, we took first place with this, I think like a week or so ago at my locals, where we lost one round in Swiss and ended up having to play that person again in the finals, and we actually got it. That was against Labyrinth. You know, really good, solid Labyrinth player. Been playing it like real strong, real good for a while. It was a tough matchup, especially when you get deburied like 3 or 4 times. You know, it's tough to win. You just gotta cross it out and hope for the best. So yeah, this is the deck profile, and I would say also y'all see the hero goo that I got here, man. Just shout out to my sponsors at Meta TCG, because they make this possible. They supply like all my cards so I can focus more on getting like the accessories like y'all see here now. Like I said, if you find yourself on eBay or you find yourself on TCG Player buying from Meta TCG, you can get that same card off their website and save 5% on it by using my code MHERO. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. Well, one more ado. Yeah, as y'all can see, I got these cool Neospatian sleeves. So I've been trying to make Cosmos Neos work, but yeah, Cosmos Neos is not good. Like yesterday, I spent so much time drawing Neospatians, it was very frustrating. But yeah, let's jump into the deck profile. Of course, we start off with the elemental heroes because we got the OG Stratos along with the rest of the squad. This E-Hero package just seems to be getting smaller and smaller. Some people prefer 3 Stratoses. I try to keep my number of, normal summons to a minimum. And yeah, we got Stratos, Liquid Soldier, Vanilla, Neos, OG, and Shadow Mist. I need to get the QCR one, but I'm working on that. Is that, yeah, that's how you say it, QCR. And then of course, Shadow Mist becoming one is like becoming like a mainstay thing for heroes. And yeah, especially like with Droll in the format, that's another big reason why I keep Stratos at 1, because you get that initial ad off of Stratos, and then it's like, oh, I hope I opened up with Poly or Fusion Destiny or something. So yeah, small E-Hero package, but very much needed. You need that to get to the main card, so we gotta have those. Then my Vision Hero package, pretty much, rarely do I run like double increase, but to improve, consistency and stuff, I decided to try out double increase in a 40 card deck. And I would say I drew increase probably every single time. And, not all the time drawing increase is so bad, because, if they have defense position monsters, then you're able to like crash into them to, if you were able to pitch the increase or something like that, then, it makes it a little bit more possible in order to do something with your turn. But yeah, I just wanted to try to see like how many times I would draw increase inside of what was it? This ended up being 41 cards, and yeah, it happened like almost every single game I drew increase. So I don't think I recommend it. And I've said it quite a few times. I feel like when you're playing at a local level, just like one increase is fine, for 3 or 4 rounds. But if you play like in a regional or something where you're talking about 9 rounds or so, it's probably better just to play double increase. Then the main reason why I call this full combo hero is because I like to run 3 Destiny Hero Deniers inside of my build. And the main reason why I do that is because you open up with Ferris and you open up with one of your Destiny Hero monsters, you're actually able to go into Vion and add that polymerization, and it makes polymerization your first add from your deck to your hand. So if you get Drolled right there, at least you still have DPE. And so to increase the chances of that happening, we have the triple Denier off in there. If I could run triple Mally, I would run triple Mally. Somebody asked that question off in there, but yeah, without a doubt, I would run 2 Deniers and then probably 3 Mallies, or maybe 3 Mally, 3 Denier. But with Droll kind of like feeling like it's like leaving the format as Unchained is starting to rise up, we might not need the triple Denier anymore because you might not have to worry about Droll as much anymore. Of course, they're still going to be inside their side deck, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, at least, you know, going into that game 1, you wouldn't have to worry about Droll too hard. But, you know, who knows? I guess we'll see how the ban list ends up affecting the meta and such. But for right now, for me, 3 Denier is the way. I love it, and that's the main reason why I call it full combo hero, is because, you know, you want to go that full combo that ends up on the board with DPE, Dark Law, or Plasma with your favorite contact set. And if you activate Fusion Destiny, you know, to start off your turn or to, you know, extend and do stuff like that, you can't really make that board if Fusion Destiny is what you start off with, because then you can't special summon your Infernal Rage, you can't special summon your Shining because they are not dark attribute monsters, and Fusion Destiny locks you into dark. So to prevent that from happening, you know, to increase my chances of being able to go full combo without activating Fusion Destiny, I, you know, shifted to the 3 Deniers off in there. So yep, that is my monster lineup right there. We got that. Then going into my spells, 3 Fusion Destiny. I think like the first time I did a deck profile for my full combo hero deck, it was without Fusion Destiny at all, and I want to say I still took first or second place. And, you know, the thing is, like, yeah, it does work, you know, pretty good without Fusion Destiny. It didn't necessarily feel like completely necessary, but at the same time, if you get Drolled or something, it's very nice to have that Fusion Destiny. So yeah, that's, you know, we go ahead and put that back off in there. It's really good. 3 Hero Lives, of course. Don't forget to side that out when you're going into time. Then 3 Book of Eclipse. You know, books are becoming pretty much mainstay in the meta right now, mostly because of Casteria, but they're also good against a variety of decks. And I prefer Eclipse over Book of Moon because, you know, sometimes I want to flip like multiple monsters face down. And then also, if your opponent does have like an Omni Negate or something out there on the board, you can if one of them does happen to be an Omni Negate, and say you have like Book of Eclipse with Droplet or something like that, then our Book of Eclipse with like Imperm, you're able to, you know, to stop all their, you know, interruptions that Omni Negate is included with. 2 Mass Change, I feel like, you know, only 2 is necessary. Yeah, I feel like only 2 is necessary. Double Book of Moon, because you still gotta have them. Double Poly, just because, like, I hate when I get my Vion and I already have Poly in hand. That's one of the main reasons. And then one of the other reasons is running the triple Denier if I do happen to have, you know, Plasma or Dark Angel or Mally starting off inside of my hand, and, you know, I get hand trapped, you know, somewhere. I can still polymerization, that hard drawn polymerization with those Destiny heroes in order to make DPE. Because, you know, DPE can carry you a long way as long as you use it, you know, correctly in most cases. Then we got our one-ofs, Miracle Fusion, Rhoda, and Called by the Grave. I still like Rhoda. It's, you know, a good card if you don't get Drolled. But, you know, the thing about heroes is, like, almost all of our cards, all of our main things that we want to summon and put out there onto the board is going to get us Drolled. So, you know, it is what it is. Well, we got those right there, but we also don't have like a lot of solid 1-card starters, so you need cards like Reinforcement of the Army to, you know, really get your turn started off good. And those are my spell cards. Then my trap cards. 3 Imperm, very good, doesn't set off triple tactics. And then 1 favorite contact, of course, gotta have it. Best new card inside the hero deck, yeah, along with Infernal Rage inside the extra deck. This is, you know, taking heroes to a whole new level. And, you know, it felt like we were getting there really strong, really good with heroes and stuff, and now we have the rising of Unchained, and Unchained is just a really bad matchup for heroes because of their destruction effects. And, like, that's basically what I do. Like, our Shining Neos Wingman destroy stuff, our DPE straight up destroy stuff. The Shining, if you left him out on the board, you know, to destroy stuff, like, it's just a really bad matchup for us. And also Labyrinth with their ability to search and play D-Barrier. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, 41 cards is my main deck right there. And then we got our, let me see, changes for the, one of the main things you'll notice is like in this deck profile is that I'm not main decking Crossout. And yeah, I do feel like I missed it. It's definitely inside of my side deck, but I definitely missed having it inside the main deck as well. Then we got our elemental heroes inside of our extra deck. Of course, we got Infernal Rage, our Shining, our Big Chill, aka Ab Zero, and then we got our Shining Ringman, and then our Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. You know, these cards have been like great additions to the hero deck. You know, before, you know, I was talking about how heroes needed a better extra deck in order to do stuff. It's like all our extra deck did was search stuff, and you know, it kind of still does now, but at least, you know, it does a little bit more like than how it was inside of our extra deck before. So yeah, those are my E heroes. Then my mass heroes, of course, 2 Dark Law, 1 Blast. This card has a whole lot, you know, more utility than it has in the past. There are a lot of continuous spell cards and field spells that, you know, people are using, and Blast is able to, you know, bounce those back, keep your opponent from getting full value out of those types of cards, you know. And I'm talking about stuff like was it like Branded, Lost, what is the other, there's another card that I had to like bounce back constantly to keep them, the Pearly card, you know, and just, you know, different stuff like that. You know, don't forget to use Blast Effect, bounce those continuous spells, those continuous traps, those field spells back to their hand. The field spells, if it has an own activation effect, Blast won't work on it. But if it has an effect, like say, you know, after they activate it, say like the Flunder field spell, I believe, yeah, bounce those cards back, get that value out of Blast, make sure to use him when you can. And yeah, one other thing to talk about with the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, like a lot of times we like to end on the Shadow Mist with it, but also don't forget, like if you're playing against a back row deck, you know, something like Labyrinth or, you know, Eldritch or Trap Tricks, or you just know any card, any deck that's like setting a bunch of back rows, a whole bunch of trap cards, when you go to end your turn, instead of making Dark Law, you could leave him and DPE out on the board, and you know, most likely since they're playing traps and stuff, they're just gonna set a bunch of stuff, and during the end phase you're able to pop to Wake Up Your Elemental Hero with DPE and whatever else you want to pop, and then, you know, well, most likely probably maybe another back row depending on how many they have, and then with Wake Up Your Elemental Heroes effect, you can special summon that Stratos and destroy those back rows before starting your turn. So yeah, don't forget, you know, he special summons any hero, not any hero, but any warrior from your deck, so we don't just have to summon Shadow Mist with him. Yeah. Then we got our Destiny heroes, 1 Dangerous, 1 DPE. A lot of people have taken this out of their extra deck. I feel like there's a lot of utility still left with this deck, especially if you're running like the triple Denier. You know, you're able to fuse, you know, Denier with that you know, with a hand trapped Vion, or maybe a what's the other increase that you drew, or you know, maybe Ferris that you couldn't resolve completely all the way or something like that. But yeah, you have those, and then you're able to pitch that extra card from hand to get that Mally into graveyard, and you know, you're looking pretty good after that. So I still like having Dangerous. I do wish, you know, there was more room for like Dystopia, because I like having, you know, an engine card that can burn, but yeah, it is what it is right now. We need that Dangerous, you know, I feel like it adds a little bit more consistency to the deck. Then my Link monsters, you know, of course, 2 Cross Crusader, because he can bring back DPE if they like tributed Kaiju it or whatever. Then we got our Dread Decimator. I put Dread Decimator back into the extra deck because there's a lot of times when you get hand trapped and say you can't get to Plasma, there are just certain monsters that you don't want to leave out on the board, and Dread Decimator gives you the ability to get over those monsters, you know, as a extra deck option as you climb and stuff, because like there are some times where like you got Droll, and say for instance you can still make your Cross Crusader and, you know, special summon back that Mally or that Denier, and then then you know he's a link 2 that instantly turns into a link 3. So you have this, and then you know because of the Mally Denier off in the side of there, you know your Dread Decimator is at least like 2800, so he can attack over most things. I think in my Labyrinth matchup, you know, I ended up winning the game because of the damage that he overflows and does the Fair Meteor Crush damage. But yeah, Wonder Driver, Inferno Devicer, mainstay off of there now if you want to wave the favorite contact. And yeah, that is my extra deck right there. The only thing, like I said, I wish I could change about this was the addition of Dystopia. And yeah, now for my side deck, of course, 3 Droll, the best hand trap, you know, before the release of, what was it, Doom. So yeah, we got those off of there. Then these 1-0s because we are running cross out. And you know, you might say, well, we play pretty well against Nib and stuff now, and yeah, we do. Our opening board, you know, is really good. You can play around Nib by activating your DPE effect to pop himself and wake up during your end phase. You know, just don't forget to activate that mass change that you search for. And then also, of course, if they do end up nibbing you before proceeding into the end phase, you're able to special summon out that Stratos, go get that plasma, and yeah, you're just able to, you know, do things with that. And the only, you know, one of the main things about Nib is like on your when you go second and you're going into it, you know, you crack through your opponent's board and you're about to go to that OTK, getting nibbed right there really sucks bad, because you know you done probably, like, you know, spent out your entire hand to break some of these, you know, dang near impossible to break boards and stuff, and then you get nibbed, and you know there's not too much you can do about that after that. So you know that's one of the main reasons why I like having nib cross out targets still, even though we play around it pretty good when going first. Then Harpy's Feather Duster, of course. 2 triple talic thrusts to be able to search for Harpy's Feather Duster, Fusion Destiny, or any of those. Or, you know, depending on the matchup, it's also able to set this D barrier right there. Then 3 droplets for everything that is not pretty much Kashtira. And then 3 crossouts because I want to cross out things inside of my opponent's deck. I think like the only thing I would change about this is probably add in, you know, some more thrust targets possibly. Maybe move, you know, like one of the hand traps and stuff. But I think like the hardest thing about running it this way, you know, about having a cross out designator inside of the side deck is, you know, also having those hand traps going second. And just like some decks, if you don't hand trap them, they just set up like impossible crazy boards. But then at the same time, some decks, you know, set up crazy impossible boards through, you know, certain hand traps. But you know, feel like Nib, you know, is about to become, you know, pretty big again inside of the meta because of Unchained. Like you have to hit them before they get out that triple D guy. So yeah, I guess we'll see. You know, only time will tell as we start to go into YCS season here, and hopefully Heroes, you know, can find another way to top like we did at the, you know, at like we did at Nats. Yeah, but that is the deck profile. 41 cards. Say I still rather have cross out in the main deck right now. You know, that's just the way it is for me. But appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen. I am going to keep trying to at least, you know, capture a top 4 or top 8 with the Neo sleeves on my deck. So yeah, y'all probably see some pretty bad content coming up from Cosmos Neos, you know, here over the next, you know, week or so. But I really want the deck to work. I really want it to be good. We are working on a Soul Day hero because somebody mentioned that, and we are also working on our Mass Hero, you know, OTK, our XYZ hero deck. We're working on a build for that, and yeah, I'll get those out there as soon as I feel like, you know, it's viable for at least locals competition. And appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen. Catch y'all on the next visual.
My wingman, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he's shining out and popping to over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at our world.